Around the Table on Harrison's Original, KHOC.
Welcome to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It is the middle of the week. It's hump day. Oh my gosh, I love doing that. It throws a gust of air under my seat.
Yes, it does. It's like air-conditioned seat.
It lifts me up and makes me coast all day long.
Does it? That's all it takes?
That's what come to my mind.
A little hot air under your butt.
A lot of hot air. Yeah.
Alrighty,
not the only hot air I'm going to be blowing today. It's going to be warm today.
Is it?
But it was nice and cool this morning.
It was quite nice.
Or did you just now get out of bed and?
No, I was up at 5 something.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Were you outside? Do you do chores?
No, but I let my dog out, so usually I get a waft of whatever's out there.
Who does the morning chores?
Excuse me.
Do you have morning chores?
There's not always morning chores that we take care of, but we do.
So your animals suffer.
Can you shut up and let me answer the question? We do have 2 little steers that are pinned up on grain and grain.
How do you know they're steers?
Because they don't have any nards.
Oh, okay. Is that how you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But they're going to be beef at some point. I mean,
yeah.
they're going to. So they have to be fed. They have to be fed in the morning because that's what they're depending on. Well, they're dependent on the grain because they're not out grazing.
Meat won't taste good if you don't fatten them up.
So I take care of the afternoon chores a lot of the time, and Richard will take care of that little chore right there.
Okay. All right.
You asked.
Poor guy. Do you name them?
God, no.
Fred and
beef, brisket, and hamburger.
Rump.
You do not. I don't even try to make eye contact with them, honestly.
Oh, the less contact, the better.
Well, I feel like it. I don't try to engage.
I mean, do you go out there and you say, you're going to taste good.
You're awfully cute. Look at your little eyes and your little what? No, I don't do that.
Oh, do you look at their muscles and say, that's good eating?
No.
Okay.
I just do my duty and not look at them. Now, the others that are that aren't doomed to be processed are free game.
Well, we had some steers at one time.
How'd you know they're steers?
They didn't have nards.
There you go.
Yeah. You got and ask me, you guys got nards? Nope. Not anymore. But, it was good meat. It was, big old thing walking around out there, and you go, there's almost 2 years of beef out there.
Be darn tootin'.
Yeah.
So, I'm watching this show called Clarkson's Farms. It's on Prime Video. I would encourage everyone.
Clarkson's Farm.
It's funny. Jeremy Clarkson. Yeah, he's in the UK, but
is it a series or is it reality?
It's a series, and it's one of those where you can kind of just not have to overthink things. You know what I mean? To figure things out.
Yeah.
But he has bought this 1,000-acre farm, and he has never farmed in his entire life.
Okay.
So he's been through the sheep now. He's starting with some cows now. And he has no idea what he's doing, really.
And this is a scripted television show.
Yeah, but it's kind of a reality thing as well.
But wait a minute.
Okay. I mean, they just follow him along. How he got this gig, I don't know. But it's kind of a reality show.
So it's a real thing.
It is real.
It's not scripted.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it's not. It's the real deal.
All right.
And he bought this super high-tech Lamborghini tractor that won't fit in some of the things. It's just his novice self shines bright throughout this. And thank goodness for the people that helped guide him. But it's just funny. And it's lighthearted and it's fun. It's
funny.
Like one of those unplug and enjoy Clarkson's Farms. So y'all go check that out. Prime Video.
Yeah, we're watching something on Netflix. It's called Waterfront.
I've seen that advertised.
Yeah, it's just one season, and it takes 3 episodes before you really care.
Right.
Because you're watching the first episode. Okay, come on.
Give me something to hang on to.
Yeah, some of it you look at the acting, you go, the acting just not But then after the third, when chaos starts to happen to this family, then you get engaged. Yeah, the engagement. They're trying to. I'm sure the story is just a premise. This is the family. They get into money trouble. They live on the East Coast, and they own a fish not a fish factory, but a whatever
fish processing type thing.
Yeah. They go out in their boats and get fish and stuff.
Okay.
And they have a restaurant and whatever. But then they get into money trouble. They overextend their loans and they owe $4 or $5 million. Blah blah blah.
Right.
So then they start dealing cocaine and. It's kind of like Yellowstone of the East Coast.
Right.
But it took a while. But we watched all the episodes. Watched the last episode last night. But it's good. It's on Netflix.
Well, there you go. There's some viewing suggestions from Dan and Ann.
Yeah, that's it's tough to find a bingeable thing, and I kind of like to binge things. I don't like to just wait next. Okay, we gotta wait till next week to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Succession?
Uh-uh.
That's another one to check out. That was just bizarre. But anyway, yeah, there's lots of them out there, I'm sure.
Well, I like the
Hey,
binge
so
stuff.
you know what? If you're listening and you have a suggestion on let's say two categories, a lighthearted series to watch and one that will just, you'll be sitting there going, what?
I like drama, but I like the chaotic drama. I don't like just talking back and forth and you have a little family argument and you talk back and forth.
No,
I don't like that.
We need some crap in there.
We need some stuff that would never happen in Harrison, Arkansas.
Right.
And people that would never live here in Harrison, Arkansas, that would be that crazy.
Right.
Ozark was another one that I really liked.
I was all up in that because you just never knew what was going to be
Oh, my
next.
gosh. And the situations they got put into, it was almost like,
really?
How are they going to survive this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Then they try to be a nuclear family and try to hold things together and go to church and
it's just y'all need to just there's just some suggestions for sure.
Anyway.
Well, let's talk about the weather, Dan. How about
you want to talk about the weather?
I think
go
we should.
right ahead.
Well, it's mostly sunny today. As you mentioned, it's going to be warm. It will be a high of 88, and then tonight partly cloudy with a low of 66. Thursday sunny with a high of 89, and Thursday night mostly clear with a low of 68. And then your Independence Day forecast is sunny with a high of 90. Friday night partly cloudy with a low of 70. So you should have good fireworks.
Yeah, fire in the
weather
sky.
For fire in the sky and anywhere else that you're hanging out.
Okay.
And then on into Saturday, Dan.
Saturday, mostly sunny, high 90 degrees, low 71 for the overnight low. And then Sunday, 20% chance of showers moves into the area with possible thunderstorms after 1 p.m., mostly sunny with a high near 90 degrees. And then Sunday night, 20% chance of showers continues with possible thunderstorms with a low around 69. Monday and Tuesday, 40% chance of showers, high almost hit 90, and the lows are 69 degrees.
Okie dokie. Artichoke.
All right. What's next?
Let's do some topic to ponder.
Okay, yes. Let's do a topic to ponder.
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
We've been doing some notorious villain questions for our topic to ponder. If you were a notorious villain, we have several different questions to ask you. So put on your villain hat. Today's topic to ponder question is, if you were a notorious villain, what silly catchphrase would strike fear into the hearts of citizens?
You weren't going to eat that, were you? Oh, boy. Okay, something like that. I don't know.
Did you come up with one?
That was it.
Oh, okay.
I just said it.
Okay.
Did you hear what
You're
I said?
not going to eat that, huh?
You weren't going to eat that now, were you? I don't know.
Is that your villain voice?
I don't have a villain voice. I'm going to have to work on that.
Okay. I've got some suggestions here. One would be, the catchphrase would be chaos, but make it fabulous.
Was that your villain voice?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you want my villain voice?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. This is my villain voice for the next one. Nobody accepts mild inconvenience.
You just say like you're mad,
Okay.
boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fear the glitter of my vengeance.
Okay.
And then the last one here is, oops, I did it villain style.
What would be your answer?
Let's see. I will say. No,
See, you weren't prepared for this.
I don't. These are my villain voices.
But what was your
I
villain?
would probably say, "Arr."
You're a pirate.
Arr.
Arr, I'm a pirate.
Well, you got to have a catchphrase when you leave the scene. Arr.
Yes. Okay.
That's simple.
We have one response, and I have to read it because it's really quite funny. It's from Vigilant Inspection Services.
Okay.
Well, if you don't know what that is, they crawl into your house, they inspect your house, blah, blah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He said, I would rise from the crawl space with truth and mildew. I like that.
Okay.
That's cute.
Truth and mildew.
Yep.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Please go to our Facebook page, the graphics up. Dan's like overdone himself or he has outdone himself on the graphics for these so far this week. But the question to ponder is, what silly catchphrase would strike fear into the hearts of citizens?
If you were a notorious villain.
If you were a notorious villain.
Yeah.
Well,
Who needs
it didn't say that on
superheroes?
your graphic.
Oh,
it just
didn't?
says, what
Okay.
silly catchphrase would strike the fear of hearts of citizens? I don't think. Whatever. Yeah, it does. Whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. Let's do some Today in History.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
Okay. We had a little problem with
Yes,
our
we did.
audio today, so we will be reading these today.
And the first is 93 years ago at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. New York Governor Franklin Delano Roosevelt accepted his party's nomination for president. At the time, the nation was in the depths of the Great Depression. Note that November, Roosevelt defeated incumbent President Herbert Hoover.
Herbert Hoover.
That was 1932.
Okay. And then in 1937, that was 88 years ago today, aviator Amelia Earhart and navigator Fred Noonan disappeared over the Pacific while trying to make the first around-the-world flight at the equator. Earnhardt had often spoken about the joys of flying.
Okay. And a note from 1956, 69 years ago. It was a good day for Elvis Presley in New York City. He came to the Big Apple and recorded two of his biggest hits, Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
You know.
1964, 61 years ago today, President Johnson signed into law the landmark bill now known as the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Before the signing, he addressed the nation.
All righty. Man, these go fast when we don't have any audio,
I know.
people. And 31 years ago, that was 1994, a U.S. Air DC-9 crashed near Charlotte Douglas International Airport as it tried to take off, killing 37 of the 57 people on board. Airport Director Jerry Orr said poor weather conditions prompted the pilot to abort the takeoff.
Okay. And then 20 years ago today, back in 2005, the Marathon Live 8 concert rocked the globe to focus attention on African poverty. Paul McCartney was among the performers.
Okay, number 7. In 2018, that's 7 years ago, rescue divers in Thailand found 12 boys and their soccer coach who had been trapped by flooding as they explored a cave more than a week earlier. Go watch that documentary.
Which one?
If you haven't seen it. About the boys in Thailand, the
Oh,
12
okay, yeah.
boys and the soccer coach and how they were
got
able
trapped.
to
Yeah.
rescue each one. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got a birthday cut. Comedian and TV curmudgeon Larry David was born on this day in 1947. He is 78 today. And, yes. What was the TV show that he wrote? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Singer Michelle Branch was born on this day in 1983, making her 42 years old. Everywhere is one of her most popular songs, if you're not familiar with her.
And then actress Ashley Tisdale was born on this day in 1985. 40 years ago, she played Sharpay in the wildly popular High School Musical movies.
Did you watch the High School Musicals? Not
No.
your game, not your jam. Man, we watched.
You love those, don't you?
Well, of course I do.
Yeah, of course you do.
And actress Lindsay Lohan was born this day in 1986. She is 39. She starred with Jamie Lee Curtis in Freaky Friday, and they have Freaky Friday 2
yeah, she's making
coming out. Yeah.
Hopefully her life is straightened out.
I hope
she
so.
made a few bad turns.
I can't imagine being in the limelight at a young age and how to process through all that. So I'm not surprised that people.
If you can keep the drugs away from people, they kind of straighten themselves out on their own.
But they get under so much pressure. It seems like that's what they gravitate to.
They deaden the pressure.
Yes.
And it just doesn't help.
Yeah.
Also, Australian actress Margot Robbie was born on this day in 1990, 35 years ago. She starred in DC Comics' supervillain film, Suicide Squad.
Was she Barbie?
Oh, I don't know.
In the Barbie movie? Okay. Well, Dan's know her.
I'm not following her, sorry.
Okay. And rapper Vince Staples was born this day in 1993. He's 32. There you go. Maybe tomorrow we'll have audio.
Well, hopefully we will. We'll get it all straightened out.
One day.
Do we have guests today, or are we going to
Who are those people? Yes, we do.
Are these people out here?
Yes.
I thought they just walked in off the street.
Hello.
Hello. So, we have Mike.
Do.
We have Mike Mosier.
Hosier. Sorry.
Mosier.
Hosier.
Oh.
H-O-S-I-E-R.
Why have I got an M here?
Hosier and Shelly
That is
Watson.
so funny.
And they are going to give us all the details on Murder Mystery at the Seville.
He needs to change his name.
Oh.
Why did I put... There was an M there.
You know, it happens.
I know.
Yeah. It happens, Dan.
I'm going to therapy this afternoon.
Okay.
Straighten me out for tomorrow.
Should we do a super villain something for that? There you go. All right.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Around the Table. Now, these next guests that we have in the studio are going to be hard to corral.
They are. They're already acting up and wild.
We're going to have a hard time cutting them off because both of them are pretty vocal people. They're entertainers. They're creative
What do you mean
people.
vocal?
Oh my gosh!
I don't cut people off.
See, they're going to cut me off. Hey guys, how you doing? We have in the studio with us Shelly Watson, directly across from me, and then Mike Hosier. Welcome to the show, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for being here this morning.
What are we doing today? You want to talk about?
We are going to have a murder mystery at the Seville, and I want to let
a real
everybody know
murder?
about it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there has been a few over the years, but
Yeah.
no, this one's not real. It's just a murder mystery.
This is going to be fun.
But is it a dinner type thing?
It is a dinner.
theater thing?
It's
Okay.
over. It goes over 2 nights. It's set in the Roaring '20s. We're going to do period pieces over at the Seville.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is just the first one, first of many, and I have I've brought Shelly in because she's got so much talent and experience in this, and I wanted it to be a big hit in the town.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
wanted it to go off well, and I will let her tell you kind of how all that's going to
Like
go
some
down.
of the
but-
details.
Yeah,
oriented
Shelly, I
with
just want to
this
know
and-
where
and-
your talent comes from. Did you get a certificate, printed out certificate
Yes,
from your
I
talent?
did.
Okay, I just wondered.
I was internet,
You're
and I
certified.
just pushed it out, and it said you are a star. So I was
I
like, great.
just
You
wondered.
just ran with it.
I just did. I was like, you know what? Sometimes that's the way it goes.
I just wondered if it was a certificate or were you just certified?
Well, I certificate and certified. Yes.
certified.
She may be
Certifiable.
certified crazy.
Certifiable.
Yeah,
Yes, there you go.
that's exactly right. Cuckoo. I was really thrilled actually when Mike approached me about
Sure.
it, and Hanson as
Yeah.
well. And one of the things that I wanted to make sure was that everything was historically accurate.
Yes.
So
okay.
the way I wrote it with the different characters, it references what was actually going on in 1929.
So you wrote the dinner theater?
I did.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wrote it because we wanted to be sure, because we live in a small town.
Sure.
And Dan, I don't know if you guys know that. We live in a small town.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
I was thinking that this morning. We live in
Yeah.
a small town.
And we have a lot of local talent,
Mm.
and we have a lot of friends and family of Mike and Mr. T, as I call him. And I wanted to be sure to write for the characters that we were using their personalities and
Oh,
things
okay.
like
Gotcha.
that.
And the
Okay.
hotel staff too. They're
And the
all going to
staff.
be involved. And I've got some local businesses down in town. They want to dress up. They want to be involved in it.
Oh, that's
at
so
their
cool.
own businesses.
So, but it's a dinner theater, and everyone that is involved in the dinner is part of the characterization, or no?
Well,
How
I'm
does
glad
it-
you brought that up, Anne, because a lot of murder mysteries, it's a small group of people,
Okay.
usually like no more than 20, but we're having like up to 80 people. So
Oh.
the way we're doing it is I've set it in different areas within the Seville.
Okay.
So there's 3 acts essentially. So the first one will take place in the lounge, where you will see the characters interacting with each other, and all the guests there to play will hear those interactions. They might be
Okay,
able to pick
okay.
up some clues and stuff like that.
Ah.
And then the murder happens at the end of that first act, and then the second act we move into the ballroom, because we have to get everybody inside so we can make sure to search the hotel, and that everybody that was in the hotel is there together, because anybody could have done it. And then we do
What a perfect setting.
Yeah.
a dinner.
Yeah.
We'll have a dinner Friday night and
Yeah.
another one Saturday night, and then during the reveal we'll have fried pie and ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's all covered. It's all inclusive in the ticket. And
Okay.
But yeah, that 3-act or three. Yeah, the 3 acts.
Will
that's gonna
you
be-
reveal the murder or the killer?
Yes.
On both nights.
Yeah,
or
but
the
how do
night?
you keep it from
Oh,
leaking
yeah.
into the next night?
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal, Anne Limley.
NDA?
As we had talked about that, because it is a small town,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
stuff
Oh, yeah.
travels fast. But On Friday night, what it is that it is a sort of VIP night where they will come and have dinner, and they will get their clue cards. That if you come on Friday night, you get the information early. So you have a head start. Now, you don't know who did it. You
can bribe the staff early, too, just so you
know.
Open to bribery.
Yeah, exactly. And so we have these list of characters, and what I've done is we're going to do a film with there'll be a voiceover like, and now in the news from 1929, and we've heard that it's you know those kind of voices and those old-timey voices.
Oh man, yeah.
So, and it'll be a vintage film that people will see with the bios of the performers, and then they will be given their cards, so they can go around and look in the Seville before anybody else has a chance, because once we get out of the ballroom, the big reveal is in the lobby. So we're making sure that we're keeping everybody in one spot, everybody in another spot, and then we gather in the lobby, and before we reveal, we have people tally their cards, because we were just like doing a test. There's some people that are like, I did it in 5 minutes, here's my test, and they're the first one.
Oh yeah.
And it's 50-50. They're either really smart or they don't care.
Oh,
Yeah.
Those cards will be time stamped when they turn them in. Everybody, when you turn your card in, it's time stamped, because there's a $500 grand prize on this.
Yeah, we've been talking
we
about
saw
that.
that.
We want to make sure that it's fair and honest. So you will turn your cards into the front desk, and they will keep track of everything. And whoever guesses everything right. Well, I guess not guess, but whoever gets everything right first, they win that grand prize. There's some other.
Is that per night? And then the next night, both the combination of the 2 nights, there will be one winner.
Yes, one winner on 2 nights. If we're probably going to have a couple weeks later, we're probably going to have the same thing again, another show. Of course, a different deceased or a different killer or whatever.
Yeah.
But the same period thing, the same show, and there will be another winner then.
Okay.
So if we get enough good feedback off it, we'll do it again and have another winner.
Now, I guess that your guests, the people that want to purchase a ticket and could come to both nights, but you will not know the reveal of who actually done it till Saturday night.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But you can be involved on Friday. And my choice would become Saturday night. But
yeah. Well, that was something that we talked about, because we do, Hanson.
Hanson Doolittle is who she is referencing, who owns the Seville.
Yes, exactly. And, he offered a discount for the rooms and stuff, but we understand some people can't come for the full weekend.
Sure.
Right.
But those that want to, and those that are local that might not be staying at the hotel, the local advantage, the hometown advantage, home court advantage, as it were.
Sure, yeah.
And it's sort of a chance to let people see the hotel, because there will be 30 minutes that there will be no performances going on, and within that 30 minutes, that's when everybody can run through the whole hotel to try to find any extra clues.
All right.
Because with that many people, we've got like some rooms that you'll have to go and discover, and we've got
the dead bodies in one of them.
The dead bodies in one of them, and then we have our characters, all very period appropriate. Like we have Pearl Junkins, who is the gossip columnist for the Harrison Times, and so she's running around trying to catch all the stories. And then we have Toby.
Antonio Barbacucci.
Fun.
Well, and because Tony's a part of it, so I wrote his character about him. And instead of being the nice Irish boy, I made him, a gangster Italian. So he is Antonio Barbacucci.
That's cute.
Funny.
He got a real kick out of
That's
that.
funny.
So your actors are all set up. I mean, as far as you picked who those people are, but. And I'm sure in the future, if someone was like all itchy about being an actor, could they do that in a
Absolutely.
we want it. Okay.
We want it. anybody that wants to play one of these, we want to give them the opportunity.
And I know how amazing you are, Ann, so I would love to
I
have
told him I wasn't really acting right now, but I'm like, I might have to reconsider.
I think you will, because you'd be, and that was the thing, is that, you know, writing for specific people and their
you
talents.
wrote it specific for the people that were the actors.
Absolutely.
I'm understanding what you're saying
cool.
Well,
now.
because we have some actors that will. What I mean by actors are those that have had some experience, you know, and so they will have the majority of the dialogue.
Sure.
But there are little scenes with other people because, you know, I didn't want to give somebody, you know, 3 pages to learn from, and a lot of it is improvisatory.
Right.
But we're sort of giving them little hints, you know, like the bellhop, who may or may not be able to be bribed. You'll have to figure out which of the characters will accept a bribe.
Oh boy!
But he sort of talks in riddles. And, you know, you have to hear it a few times to be like, is he just being weird? You know, because he just got, you know, he was a soldier in World War I, and he was very young when he went in. He was only 16. And so now he's 26. And so he's trying to fit into, you know, society and life and not talk to everybody like he's still in the military, right? And then we have our Mabel Quinn, who is the desk clerk. Now, Miss Mabel cannot leave the front desk, but she's the one that you turn the cards into because Mabel is actually working. She's an employee of the hotel.
We had
that was another thing, and bringing it back to that is, the local businesses, we want them to be involved.
Sure.
If you run a business and you want to be involved in one of these, like Tony over at T's Barbecue, he's Antonio Barbacucci, and he's actually going to be serving.
Oh, that's so funny.
And we want the businesses to be involved and showcase their business somehow.
I think that's
we will
great.
write that in, and we want the businesses involved. We want them. As a matter of fact, some of the ones down in the historic district, they will have clues too, so people will be able to go shop Saturday. And they can potentially gather clues at the local businesses down around the square in the entertainment district. It was the entire thought behind this was to pull all the businesses together, liven up that entertainment district, and instead of everybody being siloed off, pull them all together for one.
I think that's a cool idea. I think that's great. I don't want to run out of time before we have time to give specifics on how to get tickets. Do you want to name the price, you know, at this point as to how much
the tickets
and what to do?
Yeah, you go on the Seville's website. We've set it all up there to make it simple.
Yeah.
Go on the Seville's website. There's a link in there for events. He's giving discounts on rooms. If you get, there's room and event packages on there.
Okay.
It's $85 for the entire weekend. And that's the 2 shows, the 2 dinners, and the dessert. During the reveal. If you can only come on Saturday, that's $50.
Okay.
So it's
and it's simple. Just go. I don't know what the Seville website is off the top of my head, but I'll find out and post it on our Facebook page.
I believe it's
Seville.com probably or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And I'm going to mention that Try Him Entertainment is what the flyer says, and that's you, right?
Yes, ma'am. Try Him Entertainment.
Because that's
me.
Who's spearheaded the whole thing, actually.
And it's 1929 hotelseville.com.
Okay, so go to that and buy your ticket. I mean, this sounds like fun, and I hope that it's something that it may take a time or two to catch on, but that the fact that you're involving businesses is great.
Right, and that's the main thing. Get all the businesses, because Try Him Entertainment is not about, you know, singling ourselves out. We want everybody involved in everything.
Well, you're focused on community.
Absolutely. We've got Colby Valentine that just won our karaoke competition, and we're signing her on. We're actually working on an Etta James tune and an Elvis tune. We're going to release her music. Ethan Walsh, we're releasing a couple of his. We're going to get them to perform at the Seville. We're going to get a chance to showcase people and Try Him
back
Entertainment.
To the community right there.
Yeah, we keep 0% of anything that they push out. And I want the talent that we have here. Nashville has recognized Arkansas talent for many years, and it's getting thicker and thicker. They know the kind of talent we have here. I want to find it. I want to showcase it, and I want the community to stand behind our residents. I moved to Harrison because it's an awesome place to be. And that Seville, Pam Tillis fell in love with it. Matter of fact, she's coming back.
So if you missed her the first time,
yeah, she's
we'll
coming
find
back.
out more about that at the right times.
Do what?
I said we'll find more about that later.
Right.
You know,
but this is going to be fun, and I just need the community to have fun with it, stand behind it, and yeah, on the next one, get involved in it. Mm-hmm. Be an actor, actress, showcase your business, whatever you want to do.
Wow.
So it's going to be a blast.
Okay.
Well, we'll keep blasting it, and I don't know that we said the date, but it's July 25th and 26th, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And go to the Seville website and purchase your ticket because this sounds like a fun time for sure.
All right.
Wow. Well, thank you
All right.
all.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
July 25th and 26th at the Seville Hotel.
Yeah, 1929.
Hotel Seville.
Go to the website 1929hotelseville.com to get
And
your
it's
tickets.
haunted, by the way.
Very
I would
haunted.
I would assume so. I would assume so. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Come back for the next one.
You got it.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
take a break. We'll be right back. Are you okay, Ann?
I had a moment. Excuse me, I'm better.
It's so funny.
I'm a little gassy.
I had the microphones on a little early, and she usually does her Carol Burnett scream.
Well, I did, but I didn't know it was going to be over the air.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Yeah, the murder mystery is going to be fun.
I'm going to have to think about getting involved with that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that continue on a regular basis.
Yeah.
They had a I don't know what you call those things. I guess they're dinner theater type things.
Mm-hmm.
They had one up in Branson that I had looked into becoming an actor. And it was a western theme, and different characters would come around, and I'm sure it was scripted to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of impromptu, a lot of interaction with the crowd. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So never took it because I was part of my life when I was just too busy to take it. But they wanted me. I'd send in my resume and they said, yeah, we want to see you. Get up here.
Well, I truly think that we both should consider.
That would be fun.
Being involved with that. And you said Kelly likes stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
she
maybe
does,
she would be willing. She would like to. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I saw this on the news this morning. It's kind of bizarre. Paramount, which is CBS, owns Paramount. They're settling a lawsuit with Trump for $16 million, and it could go all the way up to $30 million. So I guess they admitted wrongdoing.
For what?
It's amid the Skydance merger push. Paramount Global has agreed to pay $16 million to settle a lawsuit brought by President Trump over a 60-minute interview with Kamala Harris. What they did was they took questions and they selected another answer for the ones she didn't actually do in real time. So to make her look better or make her answers look better, they picked an answer for her.
I remember something about all that.
Yeah, anyway.
Right?
She was then candidate Trump claimed the segment was edited in a misleading way before the 2024 election. CBS and Paramount denied any wrongdoing, but say the settlement helps avoid a drawn-out legal battle. Basically, they're just admitting they did something wrong.
Yeah.
The money will go toward Trump's presidential library, and the deal comes as Paramount works to finalize its merger with Skydance Media. This lawsuit is completely separate from and unrelated to the Skydance transaction, but it's coming up real soon.
A lot of this was, I'm not picking one side or the other. I'm just kind of
right is right,
thinking back.
Wrong
right
is wrong.
Right and this was pegged as a conspiracy theory.
Yes.
At the time.
Well,
Right here, a lot of those, unfortunately, I will say, have come to fruition to have been true.
Yeah. Well, it's not conspiracy when it becomes
truth.
Yeah.
Right. So, it was debunked, and this is another one, which this is...
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you've been following the Sean Diddy Combs
vaguely.
thing? Yeah, vaguely with me too. And I think some of the jurors aren't really understanding what crime he did because it's so kind of far out there.
You think that's what's happening?
Part of it.
Uh-huh.
Jurors at the Sean Diddy Combs trial reached a partial verdict. The judge told jurors at the Sean Diddy Combs trial to try again because they're kind of deadlocked on the verdict after they say they were only able to reach a partial verdict because they couldn't agree on the racketeering charge. This was more than 12 hours of deliberation. That's the charge that could put him away for life, the racketeering part of it. This was more than 12 hours, like I said before, and the panel said that they had unpersuadable jurors on both sides.
So they're locked jewelry.
Yeah, the judge told him to keep trying. It's likely, they're saying, yeah, we're pretty sure, but those other felonies, but the whole mastermind of the sex trafficking ring thing, well, they just don't know.
And that's all speculation as to that's what they're thinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I looked up racketeering just so I had a clarification on what, and it said a set of illegal activities aimed at commercial profit that may be disguised as legitimate business deals, and that's
and that's he's a rich guy to begin with.
he is.
So he's doing things on the side that look a little suspicious. So anyway,
But the jury's still out, so time will tell.
Time
I
will tell.
suppose. Yeah. Okay. Researchers did a deep dive. Deep dive into what's really floating around in swimming pools during peak times.
Oh,
now,
peak.
Have
peak,
you ever
that
had to
means,
leave the public pool because someone pooed in it? Yes.
No.
Well, we have. We have.
Oh,
I did
boy.
as a child. But anyway, let's just say the results might make you rethink the refreshing gulp of chlorinated water. They found Cryptosporidium, a delightful little parasite that causes
Eek.
2 weeks of stomach misery in 20%
Yikes.
of pool samples. The good news is you can reduce your risk by showering before swimming to wash off any residual matter, and by religiously avoiding swallowing pool
Yikes.
water because it all turns out you're swimming in diluted poo-poo
Yeah.
soup.
Well, the thing of it is, when I was a kid and going to the pool, like the community pool where there's hundreds of kids in the
yeah.
pool,
You
would-
know they're peeing in it too. But
well, you would accidentally swallow some of that water.
of course you do.
Yeah, but what's so ironic is they put so many chemicals and chlorine and stuff in the water. You think, how can anything
How can
survive?
it live? Exactly.
But it do.
But
Poo do.
poo do live in the
Poo
pool.
do live.
There you go. Yeah.
Have you been following this Idaho killer?
I have not.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about.
This is the guy that broke into and killed 4 people, right? I think he killed 4 students.
Oh, okay.
In some weird reason. Anyway, the alleged killer of the 4 University of Idaho students reached a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. Authorities say Brian Koberger, accused of fatally stabbing 4 students to death in their apartment in 2022, will confess to the killings. Koberger agreed to tell them every detail of the murders except why he did it, the one thing that we all want to know about, by the way, in exchange for a life sentence. The families of the victims said they were beyond furious with the state of Idaho for agreeing for such a deal. Yeah, somebody takes a loved one away from you. You want to know why.
Sure.
Why? What possessed you?
Why?
But the thing of it is, a lot of these people that do the deed, do the crime,
It's random and they're
they
evil.
keep that secret forever.
Because it
It's-
hurts the people that were affected. I guess.
I don't know if they're ashamed or it's just too dark that they don't want to. I don't know. I don't know.
You know what would be a really interesting thing to do would be a person that goes and interviews. I don't know. I'm not sure I
Yeah.
can believe anything that came out of a killer's mouth. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, and then they tell so many
Yay.
different stories.
Right.
No, none of them are exact. So
Do you ever take mini vacations or micro?
I have taken a micro vacation before. Yeah.
Well, Americans have officially figured out how to squeeze maximum relaxation out of minimum time. It's a hot trend called microcations, bite-sized vacations like 4 nights or less. About 40% of millennials are doing it, according to the Vacation Confidence Index. Micro vacations are becoming the travel equivalent of expensive appetizers. Tiny portions that cost more per bite.
Oh, boy.
With one-night trips averaging a wallet-crushing $700 per night. That's a big
What
chunk.
are you spending it on?
Where are you staying? Yes.
You're
It's
not-
basically
yeah.
the travel industry's answer to fast fashion. Quick, trendy, and yes, of
Other-
course,
yeah.
overpriced.
Well, they're probably staying at a 5-star
I would
hotel.
say, less nights so you
Yeah.
can spend more
All
on
room
each night,
service.
I guess. I don't know.
Renting a car, renting a Lamborghini probably.
Oh, a Lamborghini. Yeah. Okay.
And then one of our final stories here before we have to take a break. A train station is using hawks for pigeon control. You ever been to a place where there's just so many pigeons? And there's pigeon poo and
Oh,
they,
yeah.
They
It's
say
not
they're
fun.
flying rats. They're just horrible creatures. I don't know anything about them, but anyway. One of London's major train stations is having a pigeon problem this summer. They're nesting and feeding in passenger areas, so officials have brought in some muscle. A Harris hawk named Oscar. He'll be patrolling the station with his handler once a week this summer to scare off the pigeons that have made it their home. But don't worry, he's not going to hurt any of them. He's just there for the intimidation. I was expecting him to go attack one and, do that kind of thing. Anyway, we are going to take a break, and we'll be back with more for you from Around the Table with Dan and Ann. Stick with us.
Around the Table, streaming live on Facebook and Hometown TV, channel 26.1.
Are you ready, Ann? Oh my gosh!
I'm so ready,
I have to do so much here.
It's a struggle, isn't it?
I know. It's like herding cats.
I don't think it's quite that bad.
It's worse than that.
Well, I got nothing for rebuttal, so whatever.
Oh boy!
There you are.
We're not going to be here Friday. We're going to be celebrating the 4th of July, Independence Day, 1776.
And we hope that everyone, well, we'll mention this again tomorrow, but we hope that everyone has a safe and fun
we'll
4th of July holiday. You've got the weekend in there. Enjoy your time for sure.
Yeah.
If you're fortunate enough to be off work, then good kudos to you.
I know people are going to be out, probably throwing frisbees and having picnics and being outside more than they have been usually.
Yeah.
And just be careful. It's heat stroke and exhaustion is a real thing.
Yeah.
And it can happen to the fittest person.
Yes.
So drink plenty of fluids and
replace your electrolytes. I'm gonna quote that. Electrolytes.
Yeah.
Put some electrolytes. Either you drink Gatorade or something with electrolytes in it.
What's in electrolyte? I mean, what is it?
Well, it's going to have extra calcium, and I don't know all the specifics, but you are sweating that out. You're replacing with water. You're diluting. You are diluting yourself.
So. Sodium? Is there sodium?
I'm sure there's sodium
a little
in
salt in it
Yeah,
too
yeah,
to keep you from sweating so much?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Anyway, be careful. We want you to have a great weekend. One extra day. Yeah.
Woo!
Woo! All right. Let's see. We did that story.
We did.
I had one here. The top cities to find work are not where you'd think they'd be.
Yeah, tell us about that, Dan. 'Cause I'm weighted.
Smart Asset just ranked the best cities to find a job, and Bend, Oregon, was the top spot. I don't even know where that's at. Bend, Oregon.
I know where Oregon is,
Oregon.
I guess, but
featuring short commutes, big income growth, and probably great coffee. Richmond and Seattle followed, while Frisco, Texas is the remote work camp, with 32% of folks never leaving their PJs. Forget home ownership. The real American dream is working pants-free on Zoom.
okay.
Pants-free.
Well, you know what? I think a lot of people do that. I think they dress from here up. We could do that here.
I'm not wearing pants.
Y'all,
You just gave it away, Ann.
Sorry. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. Who am I kidding? Yes, I did. Hello.
Oh, boy.
Love that sound. That means we're almost finished, and we're going to tell you what today is.
What is today?
World UFO Day. 78 years ago on June 9th, a guy named Kenneth Ardle, totally sober, said he witnessed 9 high-speed crescent-shaped objects near Mount Rainier in Washington. So there, birth of the UFO, I suppose.
It's also I Forgot Day.
Forgot what?
I forgot. Yeah. What was that? I try to remember. Made in the USA Day. Hope that gets to be a big thing. And then premiere of Jurassic World Rebirth at the movie theater. So
I'll
go
have
check
to go
that
see
out.
that one. I'm sure we see all of them. So
have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.